Today we make French onion soup. Let's get cooking. First thing we're gonna do is prep the bread, the baguette that we're gonna be using, and we're gonna slice it up and throw it in the oven for a little bit, just get some heat on it, get a little crispy, which is gonna be later going on top of our soup along with our Gruyere cheese. All right, let's get started. All right, now we're gonna chop up 4 onions, and then we're also gonna smash 2 garlic cloves. All right, so now that we've gone ahead and added our butter, our onions, and our garlic and let them simmer for a few minutes, we're about to go in and throw 3 sprigs of garlic in. And you don't even have to cut these up or pull them apart or anything. As it cooks with the onions, after they caramelize, they should just fall off the sprigs, like so. All right? Now, we're also gonna go in with 3 bay leaves. And don't worry, after the onions are done caramelizing, that's when you take those out before you deglaze the pan. So anyway, now we're just gonna wait for our onions to caramelize. Now, I talked about this before. Caramelizing onions is a little bit of a job. Well, not a job, but it's a little time consuming. So you don't want your onions to burn. You don't want them to be crispy. You just put it on a low setting and it just takes about 40 minutes and you just mix here and there. But like I've told you, there is a cheat method. You can turn your oven on to the highest setting and then just keep adding water every 5 minutes, and that should take about 20 minutes. So usually it cuts your caramelizing time in half. But today we're just gonna do the traditional way. We're just gonna set it on a low setting and just wait about 30 or 40 minutes. All right, till the onions are caramelized. All right, catch you in a few. So now that our onions have finally caramelized, we're gonna go ahead and add one last layer of flavor, and that's wine. Sweet red wine is preferred for this recipe, but you can use any wine you want. You can even use cooking wine, but if you want really top-notch flavor, I strongly suggest like a regular sweet red wine. Today I'm using Tidsdale. It was actually pretty cheap. I think it was under $7. My favorite sweet red wine to use is Carla Rosa. So anyway, and now we're gonna be pretty generous with this too. We're gonna go in and add like 1/3 of the bottle, or maybe half if you want, if you're feeling fancy. Right, I'm just gonna deglaze that. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. All right, just a little more. There we go. All right, another thing that you can add too, if you're feeling even more fancy, cognac. I've seen quite a few recipes where they add cognac. I didn't get any cognac because cognac is really expensive. But if you have it and you want to feel and you feel fancy and you want to add some, you will not regret it. So anyway, we already have some really good flavors going on right now, so you definitely don't need it if you don't want it. So anyway, now we're gonna add some flour. Now, I know this is controversial and I've talked about it before in other videos. I normally don't like adding flour very much at all. And usually a recipe, I feel like a lot of recipes exaggerate how much flour you really need, because flour, I mean, when something gets enough heat on it, it'll naturally thicken up. So flour, I mean, really, just a little bit of flour goes a long way. And this recipe called for 2 tablespoons, but I'm just gonna be very light with it. I'm just gonna use a teaspoon. So anyway, there we go. I don't like my soups that thick. I like them in the middle, depending on what I'm making. Lastly, we're gonna add 1 quart of beef broth. All right. And after that, you're just gonna let it simmer for a little while, and then it'll be ready to serve. All right, catch you in a few. All right, just poured myself a bowl of soup. Now we're gonna add the bread, which, beautiful. There we go. Now we're gonna add Gruyere cheese. I'm using Gruyere, but you can also use Swiss and you can also use Parmesan, but I think the best flavor comes from Gruyere. So, all right, I'm gonna add that on top. There we go. Now, if you want to add some heat onto the cheese to get it melted a little bit, you can throw it in the oven for a couple minutes, or you can use one of these. Okay, mine's out of gas. I guess gotta throw mine in the oven. Oh well. And the taste test.
That is rich, beautiful, and an elegant flavor. That's the best way I could describe that. Now, if you haven't made French onion soup before and you want something different, and you want something a little more fancy and something budget friendly, this is the way to go. French onion soup, can't go wrong here. Oh man, then this recipe I think I'm gonna stick with actually. That wine really kicked up that flavor. This is 5 stars all day. Boom.
What's up, everybody? Today I'm rating the McTen35. McTen35 from McDonald's, the secret menu item. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a cross between the Egg McMuffin and 2 or 3 burger patties from a McDouble or a double cheeseburger. And a lot of places probably won't know what it is. Well, there's probably some places you go there, but you have to order it between 10:30 and 10:35 and ask for the McTen35, also known as the McBrunch. So, you know, it was, I don't know when it became popularized. A lot of people that I've read from reviews say that it became popular after the all-day breakfast. But, you know, all-day breakfast, I was hyped about it when it first came out. But when I saw it, it wasn't that great. And, well, I mean, in the location that I live in, they only had a few like 2 sandwiches and a couple of hotcakes. That was it. So, yeah. And then now we don't even have that anymore because COVID kind of killed it, actually. So, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to take a bite and give you my thoughts and my ratings. All right, here it goes. Wow. That is scrumptious nostalgia from McDonald's. Oh my gosh. That is my new favorite breakfast sandwich from McDonald's other than the bagel sandwich. I would give that a solid 7. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and follow. Happy cooking, everyone.